Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you, Melissa, for that introduction. And I guess the most visible product of the Commission at the moment is our pipeline. And it's a great flagship product to have. The market is telling us that that has been of value. And there's a new and improved model coming out next month. And I want to talk a little bit about that and how it is improved. But I also want to take the opportunity, given the success of the pipeline, about how we can build on that success so that the whole system is working better. So in a growing economy, the construction sector is pretty important, right? And yet we've heard about failures in the industry, and there's lots of reasons for that. But one of the things that the market was telling us is that because there was a lack of visible, coordinated pipeline of work, they couldn't gear up for it. Hence our pipeline. So what do we want out of the pipeline? The first thing is that we want it to be New Zealand infrastructure's shop front to the world as a single trusted source of information. And that, the second point, hopefully at least in the medium term will allow industry to gear up. And if we give the market that confidence, we attract new entrants, we drive better value and innovation. So whilst the primary audience for the pipeline is the market, we hope it will also be of benefit to agencies, procuring agencies. By getting that information together, allowing agencies to coordinate their efforts, there's an opportunity to smooth that boom-bust cycle, improve procurement practices. We'd like to play a role in being a catalyst, for example, in bundling like projects for smaller local authorities. It complements ANZIP, the Australian New Zealand Infrastructure Pipeline. We're a financial contributor and provide data into that pipeline. So that ANZIP gives New Zealand exposure in a regional context. Our pipeline allows the market to drop down to a greater level of granularity. So I would encourage you to get onto our website and have a play with the pipeline. It has its limitations. The data is owned by agencies and there's going to be some imperfections there. There's some other technical problems that we're working on. But overall, the functionality with the new iteration, which comes out next month, will be improved dramatically. So you'll be able to get on there and aggregate across agencies, across regions, across cost ranges. So just some highlights of what's in the new pipeline. There will now be over 2,000 projects, around $33 billion. And our pipeline really is not complete unless we've got the high growth councils in there. And this one will now include Auckland, Hamilton and Queenstown. Ports of Auckland has been introduced, and I'm particularly excited that we have our first private sector infrastructure owner into the pipeline in Wellington Airport. No surprises, Auckland dominates by value in the pipeline. Minister Jones talked earlier about the government's upgrade program. Some of that is making its way into the pipeline next month as well. About $7 billion of that program will be in there as well. So, as I said, we want to build on the success of the pipeline. It has been a fantastic product. And the pipeline provides visibility for the market. It doesn't provide long-term certainty. And this is where the 30-year strategy can play a role, particularly if it's got that broad industry and government support. Michelle this morning talked about Team Victoria. We are definitely buying into the Team New Zealand theme in developing our 30-year strategy. It will be much more powerful if there is broad consensus across industry about the direction we need to go in. And if we've got that broad consensus, then there is going to be greater confidence in the concepts, the initiatives, the longer-term projects that are out there, that they will actually make their way into the pipeline. And if we've got that long-term certainty of direction, industry can not only gear up for the medium term, but for the long term as well. So watch this space. We will be, that will be the next focus for us, kicking off the 30-year strategy. The first step in that will be building an evidence base about the state of the system as it stands. How is it performing? Dr. Bollard touched on this. What the pipeline focuses on new projects coming to market. It doesn't focus on the other really important driver of infrastructure outcomes, and that is better utilisation of existing infrastructure. And that too is going to be a focus of the 30-year strategy. At the other end of the pipeline, so I've talked about a 30-year strategy providing greater certainty of projects coming into the pipeline. At the other end, we need, or the market needs to have some confidence that the projects can actually be delivered. And that touches on some of the things that Peter Silcock was just talking about. Being smarter about our procurement, getting the right risk allocation, having the right delivery models for each project, but also looking to remove obstacles in the market, whether that be skills or other shortages, and hence our involvement and support for the construction sector accord. Looking a little bit further out, we don't want to do all of the heavy lifting. We're in discussions with Massey University, who is looking to build a tool to forecast market capacity. That would be a great complement to the pipeline. So those market settings are also important to enhance the utility of the pipeline. So, in summary then, we are really pleased that the market believes the pipeline is a useful tool for its planning. But just remember, it is only one part of the puzzle, and the challenge for us next is to put the other pieces of the puzzle together. Thank you, Melissa.